Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session. Before I begin, I will request you to please send me a message using the chat option. Let me know if I'm audible to you. Drop me a message using the chat option so that I can start today's session. You may use the chat option and drop me a message and let me know if I'm audible. All right, thank you for letting me know that I'm audible. Now that you have given me a confirmation, let me start today's session. So as you can see on the screen today, I'm going to talk about AIMPI. Now, what is AIMPI? It's a very useful tool, artificial intelligence based interview preparation tool that we at Time have developed. This tool will be extremely useful for anybody who desires to prepare for upcoming personal interviews. So what is this tool about? How will it help you in your preparation? I'm going to talk about all that. But before I do that, let us take a step back and let us quickly understand that how important is a personal interview in the whole selection process. So if you look at the business schools and the way they conduct the selection process, friends, the selection process primarily consists of two stages. In some cases, three stages, but mostly two stages. So in the stage one, you get shortlisted for interview round on the basis of your performance in CAT and other exams. In some cases, your profile will also have a weightage. Once you are shortlisted, you may undergo various activities like group discussion, in some cases, essay writing, and of course, in almost all cases, personal interviews will also be conducted. Now, why is personal interview conducted? It's simply because the business schools would like to evaluate you, understand you beyond your scores and percentiles. So they have seen your performance in aptitude test, but they would like to know whether you will add value to their classroom or not. Will you be a good value addition to their MBA batch or not? Do you have the traits that they are looking for in their MBA students? So that is why personal interview is conducted by business schools. But if you look at the weightage that these business schools they give to personal interview performance during the final selection stage, it is humongous. In most cases, the weightage given to interview is very high. It is so high that you can very easily compensate for not having good academics or not having work experience. You can compensate for all that by putting in a brilliant interview performance. So if you were to ask me, sir, what is that one parameter that can make the biggest amount of difference in your chances of making it to a premier business school, I will say without any hesitation, it has to be your personal interview performance. Now, let's have a look at the weightages that some of the IIMs they give to personal interview in the final selection stage. Let's begin with IIM Ahmedabad. So IIM Ahmedabad for this year, I'm talking about CAT 25 selection process. So in the final selection stage for this year, IIM Ahmedabad is giving whopping 50% weightage to your personal interview performance. Look at the number, 50%. So half of the weightage is being given by IIM Ahmedabad to your interview performance in this year's selection process. Now, is IIM Ahmedabad the only one which is giving high weightage? Not really. Even if you look at IIM Bangalore, it is giving 40% weightage to your interview performance. IIM Calcutta is giving almost 50%. 48% weightage is being given by IIM Calcutta to your interview performance. IIM Lucknow also gives 40% weightage to interview performance. As far as IIM Indore is concerned, they are giving 45% marks to your interview performance. IIM Kozhikode gives 35% weightage to your interview performance. Now, even among the new IIMs and baby IIMs, some of them give very high weightage. In fact, among all the IIMs, the highest amount of weightage is given to personal interview is by IIM Amritsar, which gives whopping 70% weightage to your personal interview performance. So this clearly goes on to demonstrate that it is very important for you to prepare well for your personal interviews. Only when you do a brilliant job in personal interviews will you be able to convert your call and secure admission into a premier business school. So all the more reason for you to take your personal interview preparation very seriously, so that you do convert your precious calls. Now, to help you do that, one very good way of preparation is by preparing with AI based tool. But before we understand what is the AMPI tool that T.I.M.E has developed, before I explain that, let us first understand what is artificial intelligence based personal interview. See, artificial based personal interview simply means it's a interview that is driven by artificial intelligence. That means in this kind of interview, instead of human beings, instead of professors conducting your personal interview, your interview will be done by a software powered by artificial intelligence. So you are replacing professors with AI. So AI will evaluate you by conducting an interview. So that is what is artificial based personal interview. Now, if you look at business schools, they have already incorporated AI based interview or AI enabled interview in their selection process. For instance, if we were to look at last year's process and this year's process, already there are a few business schools which have included artificial intelligence enabled interview. Last year as well as this year, NMIMS has done this. So how did NMIMS conduct AI based interview in past? Let me quickly give you an idea. So what NMIMS is doing is, when you undergo the second stage of selection process, they will conduct a competency assessment test. And after competency assessment test is conducted at their NMIMS Mumbai campus, you will be taken to an interview room where there will be a panel of professors, but they will not start the interview. They'll just sit there and you will first and foremost undergo AI-enabled interview. So there will be a computer system and you will be made to sit in front of that system, and you will first undergo around 15 minutes of AI-enabled personal interview. So AI will ask you questions. You will give your responses. AI will note down your responses. After that 15 minutes of AI-enabled interview is over, that's when the professor sitting in the room may ask you some more questions. So it's a combination of AI-enabled interview plus regular human interview also. That is what NMIMS has done last year. The same thing is being done this year also. Last year, Great Lakes Institute of Management also conducted AI-enabled interview. This year, there is no clarity right now whether they are doing it or not. Let us wait and see. But last year, they have done this. Now, will AMPI, which is the tool that we have developed at T.I.M E, will you help you only for these interviews? Not really. You'll be happy to know that AMPI, which we have developed at T.I.M E, it is going to be extremely useful for your preparation for all business school interviews. So whether you have NMIMS call or not, doesn't matter. It will help you in your preparation for every single business school interview. So whether you are preparing for IIMs or you are preparing for XLRI, whether you are preparing for FMS, whether you are preparing for a place like IITs or let's say IFT or Christ University or XIME or ICFI Business School, doesn't matter. Whichever business school interview you are preparing for, you can definitely make use of AMPI and you can prepare with the help of artificial intelligence based mock interview. So this tool will be very useful for every single student who has got an interview call and who wants to prepare for personal interview. Now, how does this tool work? Let's quickly understand that. Now, to begin with, this particular tool we have developed in such a manner that it will conduct interviews and it will also give you feedback. So at the end of the interview, our system, our AI will give you feedback on your performance. I'm going to speak about it much more in detail after some time. Now, how will it work? Now, to begin with, what our AI tool, AMPI tool will do is, it will ask you to select the business school of your choice. So for whichever business school you are getting prepared, whichever business school you want to get prepared, you will first and foremost select name of that business school. Once you do that, we will ask you to upload your resume. So there will be a provision to upload your resume. And once you have uploaded your resume, our system, our AMPI tool, it will analyze your resume and it will also give you feedback on your resume so that you can improve it further if you want to. Now, when it is analyzing your resume, it can understand your background. It will try to understand your academic background. It will also try to understand your work experience background. It will go through the achievements that you have mentioned in your resume, the internships that you might have mentioned in your resume, the projects that you might have done. It will go through that. It will also go through the hobbies that you have mentioned. So bottom line is, it's a very, 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 very competent tool. It has the ability to carry out in-depth analysis of your entire background on the basis of the resume that you have uploaded. So once our AI analyzes complete background of yours, then on the basis of that, it will carry out the interview process. So it's not that we have fed some pre-fed questions and only those are the ones that will be asked. Not really. It will very intelligently analyze your background and then it will give you tailor-made question for your background. And that is what makes this tool extremely useful for every single interviewee. So this is how the tool basically works. Now, another thing that you have to understand about the tool is once the interview begins, interestingly, the AI will ask you questions, and when you give your answer, automatically your speech will be converted into text. So when AI is asking questions, the questions will appear both in written form like this, as well as oral questions will be told. So you will be able to hear the voice of the AI as well as the text will appear on your screen. The advantage with this is, in case you have any problem with the pronunciation also, you will be able to have a look at the question that appears on the screen. Similarly, when you speak, your speech will get converted into text and it will be displayed out here, and you have the option of sending your answer. So it converts your speech into text. So that is another interesting feature out here. And when your answers are given, it will listen to the answer, process it, and then ask another question. So quite a few times you will notice it has the ability to ask follow-up questions also. So it's a very, very intelligent tool that we have created, and it has the ability to simulate the actual personal interview that gets conducted by various business schools. So the kind of questions that you expect in a actual interview conducted by business school, our tool actually incorporates all those kind of questions during the mock PI. So you can expect questions related to your introduction, you can expect questions related to your work experience, you can also expect some questions related to your hobbies, your personality traits, your internships, the entire information that you have submitted to the AI. It'll have a look at all that and generate questions very intelligently to also pick up your answers, and it can create questions on the basis of that also. So that thereby it actually beautifully simulates the actual personal interview that you will undergo when you face personal interview at various business schools. The duration of the interview also will be similar to what you typically expect at business schools. So when you go to various business schools, the length of the interview, our interview will also be of a similar duration. Having said that, it also depends on your answers, right? If somebody is giving one word answer, obviously the interview will get over very soon. But if you're giving a normal interview by constructing normal kind of sentences that you do in a general personal interview, normal personal interview, then the duration of the interview is also pretty much similar to what you will find at various business schools. As I said earlier, our interviews will contain all different types of questions that you can expect in personal interview for MBA admissions. So it's a very good simulation. And as I said earlier, irrespective of for which business school you are preparing, whether you are preparing for IFT, IIMs, FMS, or mid-run colleges or bottom-run business schools, it doesn't matter. The tool has been designed in such a manner that it will be able to simulate the actual interview experience as such. The best part about the whole process is at the end of your mock interview, our tool will provide detailed feedback on your performance. And it doesn't take time. Immediately after the interview gets over, it immediately shares feedback on your performance. For instance, there is a sample feedback on your screen right now. Now, what is interesting to notice is we give you a final score out of 10, but we give you breakup of various aspects. For example, we give you breakup on presentation. How was your performance with regard to presentation? Our AI is intelligent enough to even figure out your appearance. How do you appear? Do you appear very enthusiastic? Do you appear very you appear in a very presentable manner? Is your dress absolutely appropriate or not? How was your body language? It is even able to read your body language and it will give you feedback on that also. Now, this is summary. What you see on the screen is a screenshot of the summary. But apart from that, we have a provision of downloading a detailed report. So if you download this report, it will be downloaded in PDF format, and it will not only contain the questions that have been asked, but it will also give you beautiful feedback, in-depth feedback about your responses. So that is something that will help you, because remember, after an interview gets over, your job as an interviewee, your job as a student is to go through the in-depth feedback provided and try and figure out what are the areas where you need to work on. Because a good student is one who is able to figure out the weaknesses that he or she has got and work on those proactively and ensure that those weaknesses of yours eventually end up becoming your strengths. That can only happen with constant evaluation, constant figuring out what your weaker areas are, and then work on that. For instance, let's say you have undergone a mock PI by AIMPI. Now, our tool has told you that, yeah, you are pretty weak in this particular area. Let's say you're not good at work experience based questions. Now, you went through the feedback and you also do your own self-analysis also, and you figure out, yeah, when the questions were being asked about my work experience, I haven't been able to give convincing responses. So once you figure it out, obviously, what will you do? You have to do a little more study about work-ex related questions, because you never know, right? When you actually undergo a personal interview, what if you get asked a lot many questions related to work experience? If you're not prepared, you are going to be caught off guard, and it can ruin your chances of making it to a premier business school. So all the more reason for you to take interview and then work on the feedback that you have received, and then you can also figure out whether whatever hard work you have done, whatever work you have put in, hard work you have put in, is it good enough? How to figure it out? You can again come back to AIMPI and register for one more mock PI. So the first mock PI with AIMPI has exposed your weaknesses, you worked on it, and then now you can register for one more. And second time around, you can figure out, did you improve in those areas or not? So this is how the tool has been designed. The feedback part is extremely essential. And in fact, the best part is you will be able to download it, keep the feedback with you so that you can work on it later on. Because remember, again, I want to reiterate, it's not just about taking mock PI, it's also about working on the feedback that you have received as such. If somebody is not working on the feedback and is just taking interview after interview, that's not going to make much of a sense, right? It's like, for instance, I want to reduce my weight. What should I do if I want to reduce my weight? Should I keep standing on weighing machine every single day? Will it help me reduce my weight? Not really, right? I should stand on the weighing machine, and then once I figure out that I need to lose my weight, I need to do a workout. I need to go for jogging, walking, and so on. and then of course I also need to do dieting, and then only I should stand again on the weighing machine. So you take a mock PI, work on the feedback that has come to you, and then after a few days or couple of days you again take one more PI, so that you can ascertain whether whatever work you have put in, is it giving you desired results or not. So multiple interviews are allowed in our API, but for every mock PI you will have to register for it, you have to enroll for it, but you are allowed to take multiple ones by having multiple enrollments and multiple registrations. We allow multiple mock PIs. Now, how does the system work? What is the fees that you have to pay for taking a mock PI? For a single mock PI, we are going to charge a nominal fee of 95 rupees. So only 95 rupees will be charged per interview, and you can make that 95 rupees payment, and you can select a slot as per your choice. Now, where do you make this payment? Where can you register for this mock PI? So to register, you need to visit this portal. So kindly make a note of this, ampi.t4e.in. So this is the portal that you need to visit, and you will be able to register for the mock PI with our AMPI tool. So it's a very simple website. You can visit there and you can register for it. And remember, you can make the payment now, and you can take the interview whenever you want by scheduling your interview in one of the convenient slots available. So there may be multiple slots available as per your choice, as per your schedule. You can select a convenient slot and you can undergo the interview. So the good thing is you can make the payment, and you will have the option of scheduling the interview as per your convenience. So we are not gonna randomly give you a slot, and it may not be convenient for you. So we realize that, and because we at Time, we are a very student-friendly organization, so we have done two things in this regard. One, we have kept the fee at a nominal price of 95 rupees so that more and more students will be able to take it. And two, we are also allowing our students to choose a slot as per their convenience. Remember, to register for this, you need to visit our website, ampi.t4e.in. You can also go to our parent website, timenumericalforeducation.com, and you will see the banner for AMPI, and you can do the registration there also. So this tool is now active, and if you are preparing for interviews, as I said previously also, this tool can be a game changer, because when you take an interview with artificial intelligence, imagine the kind of questions it can generate because of its ability to analyze your background, analyze your resume, and then it can create a wide variety of questions tailor-made depending on your background. And at the end of the interview, it will also immediately share with you detailed feedback on your performance. You can have a look at the feedback that has been given to you, and more importantly, work on that feedback, right? Work on the areas or the gaps that have been told to you. And then, of course, once you believe you are feeling confident, once you believe you have improved, you can again come back and register for one more mock PI, and you can again take another mock PI. Of course, for every mock PI, you'll have to register and make the payment of 95 rupees, and you can take one more, and thereby you will be able to figure out whether improvement has happened or not. So this is essentially done so that you can figure out how much improvement is happening. So this is how this tool essentially works. All right. Now, if you have got any questions for me, do feel free and send across your questions. I'll answer your questions. You can use the chat option to send across your question. All right. So the first question says, what will be the duration of the interview? See, the duration of the interview, it varies from interview to interview. Broadly, it will try to simulate the actual interview that business schools conduct. So majority of the business schools typically will have somewhere around, let's say, around say 12 to 15 questions are typically what majority of the students have reported back to us when they went to various business schools. So it will try to simulate that kind of an interview process. So it is very much on lines with how the business schools conduct the interview. So the duration, the number of questions, the type of questions, variety of questions, all that is simulated on the lines of actual interview that our students have got in past for so many years. So the tool has been developed by putting in a lot of R&D, and the AI has been trained on the lines of actual interview experiences that our students have shared with us for so many years. Anything else that you wanted to ask? Please go ahead, share your question using the chat option. Okay. So if you don't have any more questions for me, then I guess I have come to the end of this session. I would like to thank you for attending this session, and looking forward to meeting you soon. If you like the content, do hit the like button and do subscribe to our channel, because we regularly upload this kind of quality content, and share this with any other students or any other friends of yours who may also be preparing for postal interviews. It will benefit them also. Thank you everyone for watching this session. Thank you.